Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pretty Real Persona podcast. I am your host, Ariana. So today's topic today is turning your pain into purpose, and this is a pretty deep topic. This is one of I say it's one of my favorite topics too because it's something I did my whole life. If you ever heard of the term alchemy, which is transmuting energy type stuff. If you ever read the book The Alchemist, I recommend read the book The Alchemist. Do you guys like my shirt today? Uh, this is my one of my fun shirts. Honestly, love it. I want to give a little story time about how I've done it. Um, and if anybody else has a story time, leave it in the comments. I want to know your guys' stories. I want to know things that you guys did to turn your pain into purpose. I do first want to say, pain didn't break you. Pain builds you. Pain builds character. If you're a Cancer out there, or a Gemini, or it doesn't even have to be a sign thing, but me, I'm always gonna get to the signs, baby. This is the nicest person I promise you, has been through a hell of pain in their life. And sometimes, and especially, and also the meanest person as well is someone who has the most unhealed pain. Pain honestly can do damage, but at the same time, it never breaks you. It didn't break you. It built you. It built that character, honey. Like that's the truth for me. Like everything that I've been through in my life has literally built me to be this beautiful person, to be a person who can give their self grace, handle business, have a bad day and still continue to go on, like all of those things. All go through pain in our life, and um a lot of times it's random, or everything is meant to teach you a lesson. You have to literally think that. In my life, when you go through stuff, you have to think, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Because a lot of the time it's there's there's a reason for every single thing. Remember, as a little girl, oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite things to just say. Like, as a little girl, like, I remember things would happen in my life, or like I was tasked with so much responsibility in my life, and I would be so tired some days. I really wanted to go do something, but my mom had work. And another thing is, my mom, mainly as a kid, she worked um second shift, and I always used to wonder, like, why will you not work first shift, so I don't have to at the end of the day figure out everything for everybody? Or like, it would be me who would get in trouble for, like, um when everybody didn't have their chores done, like all of us would get woken up, like it would be stuff like that. Or like, um when I couldn't go somewhere I really wanted to go, and because my mom had work and I was the designated babysitter, just as a little girl, I would just cry. I would just cry in my room to myself, and just tell myself, like, it, like, all I have to do is work hard and work towards everything I want, and it'll happen for me. And I just would tell myself, and I would cry, and I would just say that over and over and over and over and over again. And mind you, I'm here today. I would get mad and I would cry, and I would feel through those things. I've faced a lot of adversity at my job. Just being a Black woman in the workplace, in the corporate workspaces, it's like you're looked over. Being a woman in general, like, not only am I a woman, I'm Black, but I also am a lesbian. Like, I used to have a someone who was my boss, and he was very belittling to me. Like, I remember, I did not believe in myself at my job, because he always found something wrong with everything I did. And he wasn't open to teaching me things. And it was me and another girl who started together, and he was open to teaching her. So it's like, then when the first job opening came up for a full-time position, I didn't even get a chance to interview for it. They gave her the interview and gave her the job, and I feel like it was behind my back, because I didn't get even a notice or get the chance to interview. At least let me interview, and you're going to choose her. But I didn't even know about it. So when she just was full time and everybody was clapping, I was just kind of like confused. And this was around the time, like, where I was like fully remote at my job and stuff. And uh I had a lot of going back and forth moments with this man. It really dwelled on me every day, like, especially like at the what I was working was not like I was making $20 an hour, like trying to make that work. Um, as a contractor, getting paid hourly. So it's like, I had just got out of college. I worked for them one of my last 2 years of college. So I've been at this job um damn near 5 years now. Um, but clock that. But um I just stayed the course. I just, eventually had a meeting with the higher up boss when they were gonna like let me go because I was a contractor and my contract was basically up and they had kept extending it because of like we were expanding. Um and I didn't lose faith. Like I knew that even if I didn't get a full time position here, something was in store for me. Like I just kept, going to work and kept trying to do my best and do my best and do my best. And then they hired someone new to actually like they changed the like structure, organizational structure in our group, in our like department. So he wasn't a boss, there was a lead, and so we were the lead's employees, and me and her clicked. And I remember the first day she came, I told her everything that is like wrong in our department, and we kind of like had built a bond. And she was like, you know what? I remember crying to her, literally saying like, like I have faced so much literally in her office, crying to her about how much adversity I had faced at this job. I remember crying to her, like, and because she was telling me a conversation of like I should be looking for other jobs. And before she had, had told me like they weren't trying to keep me. The other dude had taken me out to the side, who I had issues with, taking me out to the side and was trying to tell me about a job opportunity. And I felt like that was totally unprofessional because it's like, why are you trying to tell me about a job? I have a job. Nobody's even told me that I'm, being let go or anything like that. That was a pretty hard time. I remember days I used to go home from work crying in my car on the way home from work. But that one conversation I had with her, like just literally expressing, the things I've been through at this job, but the adversity I faced, and that, like one person won't believe in you, but God will strategically place people in your life that will. Like, and ever since then, like I have excelled at my job. Sometimes it's not, sometimes you cannot learn from the person who's in front of you who's not even really trying to teach you, who has no good intentions for you. And sometimes that's another thing, you have to know when to leave. How I turn my pain into purpose is she told me, like, you know what? I want you to come in, 2 times a day, not 2 times a day, but 2 times a week, and um, work hard. And I'm going to try to get you a full time position. And I did that every week. I came in, I started, really getting cool with the new, because we had hired 2 new people, my boy Rob, and I started, we all just became really close kind of at work. And I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was working hard. I was already a hard worker. This is a side note, but this is to anyone in corporate, my corporate girlies. I'm talking to my corporate girlies right now. So corporate girlies, come to the front. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I get it. I get it, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Play the game. Play the game. Literally play the game. Like, that was my issue. Like, I wanted things to be fair. I'm a type of person, like I treat people how you want to be treated and be equally, and so you can still keep that, treat people how you want to treat in the corporate world. Yes, do that actually. But like, politics isn't everything. And me, I'm not a girl that likes to play with politics. I'm not her. I don't want to be politicking and doing all that. I don't. I don't even want to have to. It's like, to me, it's like to manipulate, to even like do things for like an ulterior reason. To me, is like unauthentic. It's like, that's one thing I do hate about being in a corporate space. You cannot fully be completely authentically yourself. Honestly, that sucks. It sucks a lot. So I realized I had to start playing the game. I had to start, like, you want to go to work, you just want to do your job, you want to get things done, you want to go home. Like it's, yes, this is your career, but it's 9 to 5. You have literally like 4 hours after the day, and then it's like you're building up you have to build up, not even build up, but you have to learn how to do things outside of work, like right after work. Like, you have to learn to still live your life and not still maintain not living in a survival mode, even though work takes 85% of your day. I started going to work 2 days a week. boom, I got a full-time position. I would say, like, don't give up. Do not give up on yourself. Pain into gain, really. Because it's like, turn that pain, think like, okay, this hurts me so bad, I'm gonna go harder. Ooh, this hurts me so bad, like, I'm gonna figure out something else. I'm gonna figure out something else, you know? Do the things that make sense though too when you're trying to figure something else. Like, don't, like, to me, it's, I'll just say this: do not leave a job without having another job. I'm sorry. Especially if you have to pay bills or something like that. That's, I would never recommend that. Do not. Like, I'm not saying go for anything, but if you can, and it's like, if you could quit a job and you got, your emergency fund type shit, like, quit your job. If you know what I'm saying? Don't let these people. That's one thing about us Gen Zers, baby. We will quit that job. Literally, we will quit that job. We know our worth. Pay us it. Some shaking with their hand out. Hey, hey, then shaking with their hand out, Hey, but yeah, turning your pain into purpose is a healthy way, a healthy outlet of, turning, transmuting your pain, because if you don't, the unhealed pain can show up in drastic ways, and just other things, like, just not very demure, like practical things you can do, literally, like journaling. Journal your pain out instead of like feeling like feeling like you're alone and just staying to yourself and not talking about it. Openly express the things that you've been through. Don't rush to being healed. You don't have to be healed right away. It's a process. Like, healing is not linear. It's a process. Build a community. And there's people out there that went through the same thing as you, or went through a similar situation, and what you are going through can help them heal themselves. So nobody's feeling alone. Community. I feel like we've gotten away from community, and we need to get back to community, baby. Because community is literally wealth. Community is health. Community is the key, baby. I hope that you love the turning your pain into purpose, and I hope that you can use some of these things to turn your pain into purpose. So this week, we have an affirmation of the week, and we have a journal prompt. So the affirmation this week is: my pain shaped me, but it does not define me. I choose to create purpose for every part of my story. My pain shaped me, but it does not define me. I choose to create purpose from every part of my story. My pain shaped me, but it does not define me. I choose to create purpose from every part of my story. So I take that affirmation, get in front of the mirror, and say it to yourself 3 times. Look yourself in the eyes. And literally, you say this to yourself. Affirmation of the week, baby. Let me know how you felt after you got in the mirror with it, baby. And the journal prompt of the day, is: what is one painful experience I've had, and how might I serve someone else if I shared what I learned? It's a really good journal prompt. I can't wait to hear from you guys about it. So you can DM me and tell me, like, what you journaled, and anything you journal, anything you just want to share, express to me about. And maybe I'll share a couple stories, start sharing a couple things, anonymously. And let me know if you don't want me to share yours or not too. I can share some things anonymously about, some of the journal prompts, and how, it's really, the journaling has helped someone, or like, just what you journaled, and see if someone has the same story. I also want to just say, you are not alone when it comes to, like, we all feel pain. We all have our own story. We all are trying to just heal from the things that happen to us, literally. If you enjoyed this episode, like it. I'm so happy to be here talking to you guys, and just, I'm so grateful that you guys are tuned in, and just, kind of here, part of, just healing and transformation, and, just showing up with your truth and your authenticity, and showing up as your real persona, your real you. And showing up pretty damn real. So I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for watching. Catch me on the next episode. Stay tuned, babies. I love you guys. Bye.